You're listening to the Simplified CEO, the podcast that shows you business does not have to be complicated. So grab a coffee, get comfy, and let's show you how you can get success in every area of your life the simpler way.
Just before we jump into today's episode, I have to give today's sponsor a shout out. Now, you know, here on Simplified CEO, we are all about the simple life in business. And I know one of the main areas every entrepreneur wishes was simpler was the bookkeeping. Well, it can be with today's sponsor, Xero. This is an accounting software I have used for years, and honestly, it's made it so easy for me to keep a track of everything. It automates manual tasks, meaning I'm not losing hours to admin, and it can be done from anywhere using their fantastic mobile app. So if you're looking for a simpler way to keep on top of your bookkeeping, go and check out Xero today using the link in the show notes below for a special offer. Now let's get back to today's episode.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of The Simplified CEO. Today, I want to share my top 5 tips on how you can run your business just during school hours without absolutely losing your mind. Now, this was one that I had to tackle. My businesses have always been run in the main between school hours. I've always done drop-offs and pickups. But that can be challenging, right? There's so much time lost actually to doing the school runs and being that present mum. But that was always the vision. That was why I went into business. And I lost that for a little while, which I've shared on previous episodes. So if you want to hear that story and how I clawed back, then go and listen to some of the previous episodes. But today, I just want to share about how I tackle that and how I make sure that I make moves, I take the action that's needed, and I don't ever step out of the boundaries of school hours. So, as entrepreneurs, we have a lot to think about, okay? And we feel busy all of the time. I don't know about you, but there's been days previously where I'm running through my to-do list before I've even got out of bed in the morning. And by the time I've got my daughter ready for school, got her to school, I'm exhausted by the time I'm even opening up my laptop. My brain is a constant circle and noise of all of the different things that I'm trying to juggle. And if I didn't put these 5 principles in action, I don't know whether I would still be sane right now. I think I would have had to be locked away somewhere and had a real detox of the entrepreneurial space. So these 5 really do keep my sanity in check, and they allow me to have this successful business and push this business forward every day, take those big leaps without feeling like I'm letting something slip or that it's not to the quality or the level that I desire and need it to be. It allows me to build the business of my dreams, help my clients in the most amazing way possible, but still be there, have those boundaries, and be a present parent. So, the first thing that you need to do, and really, whether you're trying to keep your day within school hours or not, this is absolutely critical to any super busy person, especially in the entrepreneurial space, is to really understand how long your tasks actually take you. Because until you understand where your time is going, you can't fix it. You can't put solutions in place to help you save time or be more productive. You have to really be in control of every minute of your time. So when I say mark down how long tasks are taking you, I don't mean estimates. I don't mean looking at and saying, yeah, well, I spend about half an hour a day looking at my emails or, I want you to be really precise. And this takes a bit of courage because you really are ripping off the rose tinted glasses here. You're really going to be very transparent in how you are currently spending your time. And what you will find is it's those lost minutes that you don't account for, those doom scrolling, procrastinations, going to make your 10th cup of tea because you're really putting off doing a big task. Actually, all of those lost minutes in the day really add up as well. So it's not just writing down the actual physical tasks, it's all of the intermittent time, the time between the big tasks that you need to take account for as well. So the way that I did this is I woke up one morning and I was like, okay, I'm going to map out every single thing that I do today. I'm going to put the time that I start and the time that I finish. And I'm going to see at the end of the day sort of how that pans out and what I've achieved. Because that was the biggest thing for me was that I felt like I literally did not stop. I was so busy all of the time, but I didn't feel like I was moving forward. Like I felt like I was a hamster on a wheel, never actually traveling any distance, but never stopping. And I needed to see why. And this was the way that allowed me to see where I was spending my time and whether it was in the right places. So be really specific, do it to the down to 10-minute blocks or as small as you can go. So you really do get all of that information. And if you're really dedicated to this is how I did it. Do it for an entire week because no 2 days in a business are exactly the same. Mine fluctuates throughout the month, let alone the week, but it gave me a good insight into how I was spending my time. Once you've done that, once you have that data, then you need to move on to phase two. And phase two, I like to call your busy work, your builder work, and your breakthrough work. And this is where you actually see what tasks are moving your business forward, what are actually important, and what is the dead space that is not serving you or your business in any way. So, starting at the busy work, this is the stuff where quite often you'll feel the safest. So, this is tweaking your website, it's going back through your emails, it is retweaking your profile on your social media or doing another social media schedule of what you want to talk about, coming up with ideas. It's all of these tasks that make you feel important and make you feel busy and that you're doing stuff for your business, but are not making any money. They're not using any of your skills or your, expertise. And really, they are wasting your time. Because if we are only wanting to work within school hours, we need to make that time count. We need to be generating that income. We still have financial goals. You still need to hit a certain amount of income every month. So, for you to be able to do that within school hours, you need to make sure that you're making every minute count. So by looking at this and analyzing, okay, actually, what is just the busy work that isn't utilizing my skill or my expertise or generating me any money? And what most of my clients find is that you're spending the majority of your time on these tasks. So opening up your eyes, and really ripping off those rose tinted glasses and being able to transparently see how much time in the week you're spending in that area can really change the game for you. Once you've figured out your busy work, then you look at your builder work. Now, this is the stuff that takes a little bit more skill, a little bit more expertise. It's still not generating the big bucks. It's still not making the leaps forward for your business, but it is important. So, this can be actually generating the copy for your social media marketing. It can be writing your email sequences. It can be onboarding clients, those sorts of things, the bookkeeping or accounting for your business. These are all important. And yes, they might take some level of skill, doesn't necessarily have to be your skill, but they are tasks that will help support your business. They're needed to have a successful business, but they're not necessarily what really lights you up. And then we have the breakthrough work. This is the work that really only you can do in your business. This is the client delivery. This is speaking on stages, guesting on podcasts, handling the sales calls, and warming up those leads. This is the work that really you went into business for. It's where your passion lies. It's where you get the most enjoyment out of your business and you generate the most income. So you can see now by putting your all of your tasks into these three areas, you can see, well, if I want to be happy in work and I want to be generating the most income, I surely need to be spending most of my time doing those breakthrough tasks. And actually, the busy work, I need to clear as much of that off my desk as I possibly can. So, by illuminating this to you and having that real insight into your business, you then have everything you need to make those changes and make sure that every minute in your day is stepping you forward to the dream business that you're wanting to achieve. The next thing is then deciding what are your daily non negotiables. So these are tasks that you have to do every single day, doesn't matter how you're feeling, that make a difference in your business. So these could be lead generation, it could be following up with leads, it could be making sure that you've got some marketing copy going out every day. These can be quite quick and small tasks, but they really do make a big impact. One thing that I do, for instance, I schedule 15 minutes of engagement time on Instagram. Every day, I know that I have to go on and engage with my followers, find new followers, comment, start conversations, because that's a really huge way that I can build those relationships, warm up those leads, and start bringing people into my world. But what I do is I put that time limit on it. It's only 15 minutes because if I left myself to my own devices, I could spend an entire hour and I'd be doom scrolling. I'd just be taking all of that in and I would forget the main purpose that I was there. I wouldn't be commenting or engaging. I would just be soaking up what I'm seeing. So it's really important to always be intentional in how you're spending that time. Don't just say, I'm going to spend 15 minutes on Instagram because that's not moving your business forward. I'm going to spend 15 minutes on Instagram engaging with potential leads or following up with existing leads. You can see how intentional that is, and it's always with the focus of moving your business forward and bringing in more income. Next is then focusing on the money makers. So once you've got this transparency in your business, and we know now that you're going to try and find solutions to move as much of that busy work out of your day, then you need to find that time can be replaced with those money makers, with those breakthrough tasks. You're going to start more sale calls. You're going to do more content creation. You're going to do more client delivery. You're going to have that availability to take on more clients. So it's giving you the transparency of if I want more money and I want to work less hours, that's the space. That's the golden space that I need to spend my time in. And you need to fill your diary with those beautiful tasks. Which is a win-win, right? Because that's where you feel happiest, you're joyful, the time flies because you're doing something you're so passionate about, and yet it's bringing in the most money. It is a beautiful space to spend your time, and yet we so often avoid it. We're scared of it because that is the space that we can be a bit uncomfortable in, right? The busy work is where we feel comfortable. The busy work is where we not necessarily client facing. We're hiding in our back office. We're creating a new funnel. We're creating a new freebie. We're setting up a new landing page. All of these busy work that we feel is so important, that is not going to bring you in money. You need to be really tailored and have a specific strategy of why you're doing everything you're doing and what is the end goal and end purpose of that. So, like I said, social media, yes, you're going to need to spend time on there building those connections and those relationships, but you need to be intentional when you do it. It's the same with everything. Yes, you need to do your bookkeeping, but if you hate it or you're not very good at it and you feel overwhelmed, it could take you 3 hours to do that bookkeeping to a substandard or just passable level. How much would it cost you to outsource that and have an expert do it who would probably take half an hour to do the same to a higher level? And then you have freed up 3 hours of your time. And this is the mindset shift that you have to make in these scenarios because, yes, that's an added cost. And I know that we like to keep our overheads low and we don't want to incur any new cost to the business. But if you are freeing up 3 hours of your time that you can then dedicate to the breakthrough tasks and make more money in those 3 hours, then surely you're going to be in profit by spending a small amount to free up those 3 hours. So it's about analyzing how you are spending your time, what's actually generating you income, what's not, and then what solutions are there out there for you right now to get some of those non money generating tasks off your hands. And it doesn't have to be outsourcing or hiring a staff member. It can just be looking for tech solutions. So there's, automated email systems. There's automated reminders that can go out to clients. There's loads out there. There's using AI tools to help you create the copy so you're not stuck staring at that white blank page every time, trying to come up with the inspiration to come up with an amazing, heart-stopping piece of content. AI can help you at least get the bones of that so you can start and work quicker through it. You have to be so protective over your time because your time is precious. It is the most precious resource within your business. You have to start treating it as so. And finally, tip number 5 is just that. It is stop exchanging your time for money as a one-to-one ratio, because it is not a one-to-one ratio. If you try to build a business just based onto one client work and you charge, say, £200 an hour, you are always going to be capped at how much money you can generate into your business because you only have X amount of time in the day. So you can only serve X amount of clients. It's a non scalable business. You are always going to hit your ceiling. You've got that ceiling in place. And the only person that's putting that ceiling in place is you. Only person that is putting any limitations on your business and on the success that you can achieve is you. You have to find ways of bringing in that passive and semi passive income, bringing in extra income streams. So you are not always tied to here's 1 hour of my time and that equates to X amount of money. Once you crack that, once you have multiple income streams, then the rest becomes easier because it takes the pressure off a little bit. Because this is the main battle that we constantly have with ourselves. We want to be a present parent. We want to only work between 9 till 3 for the school run. But yeah, we also have these big, ambitious financial goals. And it can feel like they're in two, unparalleled universes, that it's not possible to hit those financial goals while only working those hours. But if you work through this process and if you really control and have complete transparency and control and oversight over how you spend every minute in your business, there is no limit to how much income you can generate. But you just have to be smart about it. This is not about working harder. This is about working smarter. All of that hustle culture that has been forced down our necks for the past few years is so toxic and just means that in your mindset, you believe now that it's not possible for you to hit those big goals without you working every second of every day and giving up any quality of life. And that does not have to be true. I work 20 hours a week. I work between school hours 3 days a week, and I have a very successful 6-figure business. Yes, I now have team members that support me in that, but I didn't always have them. I built this business with just me, and gradually I've increased the support that I have throughout that journey. And you will do that too. There will be times in the future where you think, okay, something has to give here. I either have to recruit or I have to increase my hours, but you're not there yet. And by doing this and working through this process, it frees up the time. So it gives you that space that you need to keep growing the business without the headache or the stress of recruiting or outsourcing. There's things still that you can do that you can fit into your day without having to add to your team at this moment. So to recap, first of all, become really honest with yourself of actually how you're spending your time, how long tasks are taking you, where the lost minutes and hours are in your day, and really start to understand actually how you're spending your week. Then, once you have that information, categorize those tasks. What is just pure busy work that is not serving you or your business? What is the builder work that is important, that needs to be there, but doesn't necessarily need you to be doing it or your level of skill or expertise? And then what is the breakthrough work? How much time are you actually spending in those real income generating tasks? Once you have all of that, then you need to build yourself your absolute non negotiables. These need to be scheduled in your diary, time for these. What are the 3 to 5 tasks that don't take much time, but make instant change to my business, that will instantly move my business forward? Whether that's lead generation, following up on leads, building relationships, booking podcast or guest speaking opportunities, reaching out for connections and collaborations. These are all tasks that I do every single day. Schedule them in your time. These are non negotiables. Then you need to, with all of this free time that you've now created, now you've cleared the desk of all the noise and the mess, focus on those money makers. What brought you in the most income last month? Spend more time doing the same this month. It really is that simple. And then number 5, Stop exchanging one for one your time for money. Your time is the most precious resource in your business, and you need to start acting accordingly. Protect it with all you have. Always ask yourself the question, is this task moving my business forward? Is it actually going to serve me in any way? Is this opportunity I've been given to speak on that stage, is that actually in line with the goals that I've set for myself? Or is that just going to be busy work? Is it going to make me feel good and important because I'm on stage, but actually it's in front of the wrong audience? It's not going to serve me. It's not going to bring in any leads. And actually, it's a waste of my time. You have to get honest with yourself. Ask yourself these questions so you can really see that you are always focusing in the right areas in your business. Okay, I would love to hear of you when you do these, once you run through them, what was the biggest eye opener for you? I know, like I said in the beginning, doing that process of really understanding where my time was going was painful. I found out some things about me. Like, I knew I could procrastinate. I had no idea how bad my procrastination had got. So this really helped me fix those issues and build processes then so I don't procrastinate. I don't lose so much time because I've always got something in the diary that I'm looking forward to that brings me that joy. So let me know. Come over to Instagram. It's the Claire Bartlett, or drop me an email. I've got all my contact details in the show notes. And I will look forward to hearing from you all next week. Have a beautiful and spacious week, everybody.
I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. If you are ready to make your life simpler, then don't forget to check out today's sponsor, Xero, the accounting software that is ready to supercharge your business by automating routine tasks, giving you quick access to your financial data, and helping you get paid up to twice as fast using their online invoice payments. So if you are ready for a simpler way to keep on top of your bookkeeping, go check out Xero today. Get their special offer using the link in the show notes below.